I'm ready.
Ready. Okay, welcome back to our fake podcast. I'm Kelly.
I'm Liana.
And this is our yearly report.
Not to be confused with
An actual podcast
that everyone thinks we have, which we don't.
We didn't even release an episode last year.
Do you want to talk about why?
I was sad.
We were pretty sad, to be clear.
Even though the holiday season is supposed to be about happy things.
Seasonal depression hit hard last year.
It hit really hard.
So here we are.
Back at it again. Not as depressed as we were.
Nope.
Do you want to go into our origin of why we do this podcast?
Me? Okay, sure.
Of course.
So how far are we going back? Why we even started?
Take it back to the beginning because we've only done this. This is our third time.
This is our third time, to be clear, yes. I guess this was like right at the time of COVID.
Was it 2020?
I guess it was.
No, it would have been right before it.
It was right before, you're right.
Right before COVID.
We were obsessed with this podcast, and we were like, wouldn't that be so funny to start our own podcast? But not a real podcast, because that is too much commitment. So we were like, let's do a yearly recap.
I just really like that format.
Yeah.
Because it like broke it down super easy.
Mm-hmm.
Part of our long distance friendship is that we Marco Polo each other, and we like
Every
joke
day.
about having our own little individual podcast because
Mm-hmm.
Liana listens to me monologue a lot.
And vice versa.
Right. So we needed an excuse to hang out.
Yes.
And we hypothetically dreamed a dream of this really dumb podcast, and we just did it as a yearly recap.
And it was a
us.
Christmas gift to each other the first year.
Right. Because
why
we
not?
needed to hang out.
Yes.
We hadn't seen each other. And then the next year rolled around, and we were like, well, let's do it again.
Because that was really fun and really funny.
And so we did it again, and then we got sad and took a year off, and now we're back better than ever.
Now we're staring 30 in the face, but
I don't like
back
that.
and better than ever.
Back and better than ever, and we're going to switch it up a little bit because we've gotten 2 under our belt, so let's change it up.
A little rebranding, if you will.
A rebranding and a catch-up for all of our...
For our viewers.
For our viewers.
For our fans.
Our fans. Before we get into our actual lives, let's talk about our internet lives and our
Yes.
internet footprint.
Yes.
And then we're going to go through and do a really fun little acronym recap. Then we're just going to do some notable things that didn't fit into our fun little acronym. Then instead of ending it on a high note, as we typically would, we're going to end it on a low note. And
an homage to 2020.
an homage to 2020.
2022, jeez.
Gosh, so much time has passed since we've talked. So, Liana, do you want to get into what your digital footprint looks like?
Well, at the current moment, it's a lot of cat videos and like just really dumb things that are like super cynical and just like totally my humor, and a lot of new girl recaps because that
You're
is
obsessed
my
with
whole
New Girl.
personality. Yeah. What about yours?
Oh, cooking videos, of course, because
sure.
I cook all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Cute little animals, because that's what makes a person happy.
Yes.
And then somehow my TikTok algorithm has honed into what I can only call friendship videos. Because
That's your whole thing.
I love friendship. But it's just like 2 best friends having fun, or like some weird thing that a group of friends has done. And they're just super obscure, but the only like consistent thing through them is something about how people are friends and love each other. Mm-hmm. Do you have any like notable influencers or like people online that you follow?
Well, as we both love the BNC podcast. So shout out to Brooke and Connor. Pretty much love their outlook and just like take on life.
I sew a little too much.
Do you want to talk about that?
I started listening to the Brooke and Connor podcast. I don't know when it came out, a year ago. I don't know.
Well, I think it started even before that. You just found Fibula and you're like, this guy is hilarious.
And
then they came out with the podcast.
And it's not that I'm in love with him, because I don't think I am. I mean, I could be. But there's so many, you're the one that called it out. There's so many niche things that him and I either have in common, like a love for sandwiches.
Yes.
Or
And
have
dogs.
literally said before.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That at one point in time, I just started making a note of all of the things that we have either said or have in common, or just like niche like they're throwaway comments in the middle of a podcast. And so I shared it with Liana because I got really tired of texting it. And so now she just gets little notifications whenever I actually listen to an episode or see something online that I'm like, this is me. It's a weird, like, parasocial relationship because I've never actually met the man.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I don't think I ever will, so.
Never say never.
That's true. Crazier things have happened.
Oh, look at us.
Reading each other's minds. Speaking of reading.
Do you want to go through what report means and how we're going to set this up?
You work in a school. You can introduce it.
Okay, so we're going to base this podcast, this recap, if you will, on the acronym of report. So we're going to give a report, if you will. So R stands for reading. E is for eating. P is for playing. O is for obsessing over. R is recommending. And T is treating yourself.
And as we were going through, we both had something on our list that was related to 2022.
Yes.
So
without realizing it, I don't think. Because time flies.
Time is just a concept. So when you hear a ding, ding, ding,
mm-hmm.
we will give a disclaimer that happened in 2022.
Correct, yeah.
Do you want to start us off with reading?
Okay, so for reading, as if anyone knows me, the fact that I'm actually reading is like, it's a big deal. So this is new for me. I have gotten a Kindle this year, which has changed my life. And shout out to the Lancaster local library, because most of my books I can download are for free. I did have to Google how to do that, but
it is a little dangerous to just be able to like click a button and download a new book.
Yeah.
Because then I just start books at like 11 p.m. when I should be sleeping.
Exactly. Oh my gosh, I've lost so much sleep on books, which like, who would have thought, really? Because my mom was worried there for a while. So specifically, this is my ding ding ding. Kelly, I read through the Harry Potter series, took back my youth. So I read through the Harry Potter series, which was an undertaking that I was willing to take under, I don't know.
And it made my little nerdy heart happy,
right,
that my best friend was enjoying a series that I have listened to fall asleep since childhood.
True, yeah. So I read through the Harry Potter series, and then the nicest thing that I think anyone's ever done for me, Kelly threw me a Harry Potter party. She decorated it like there were candles hanging from the ceiling. Her doorway was the entrance to 9 3/4, like the whole thing. It was so cute. She knit me a sweater. Not knit me a sweater. She made me a sweater though.
I discovered that year was the year I don't do anything less than 110%, because I essentially turned my entire apartment into like the Gryffindor common room.
Yes.
And
it was so cute.
I did all of it for like this Liana Kelly watch party, so much so that I ended up throwing a Harry Potter birthday party because I was like, I can't take it down. Like, this is far too extreme for
but
just,
it was
like
everything.
One day.
Yeah.
It was one of my proudest achievements.
Yeah. So that was the sweetest thing anyone's ever done for me. But more recently, I'm reading The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I got to see what all the hype's about. I will say I am enjoying it so far. Most notably, the series that I really enjoyed this year was One of Us is Lying, which, read the books, don't watch the TV show. The TV show was trash, but the books were really good. So Kelly, what are you reading?
I am actually off my reading game a little bit this year. I was really into reading in 2022 and like read more than I think I ever have. I would just like go to the park and read, and
I just wouldn't hear from you, and you were just
I was just like
reading.
Immersed in a book. And so this year, I think I just got more distracted and am doing more things. But I read a lot of trash. I was like going through my Goodreads in preparation for this, and I was like, that was a 3-star, that was a 2-star, like.
But you didn't know that going in.
I didn't know that going in. I was like excited about these books, and like they weren't a waste of time. They just like weren't 5-star reads.
Yeah.
So the one 5-star read that stood out above all of the rest is something that everyone on the internet has talked about. Tomorrow. I knew it was about video games going in. It's like, that's a concept that's in the book, but it's really about friendship. And it not only friendship, but about creative partnerships, which is something that most people don't touch on. And I think that's why it was like very, I want to say magical, but it's not fantasy. I can't spoil it. But
yeah, don't spoil it.
It warmed my heart. It crushed my heart.
Oh no.
But warmed it all at the same time.
All at the same time.
As a good book does. Okay, on to eating. I hosted Thanksgiving this year for the first time, and it was just me retired Kent and working Diane.
Ooh.
So we decided to scale back Thanksgiving a little bit. We still like ended up making a lot of food, and I did have leftovers, but I roasted a chicken instead of a turkey, and I cook a lot, and I think I'm a pretty good cook.
You are a very good cook.
And this was the best thing I have ever made in my entire life.
It was beautiful.
Not only was it beautiful, it was delicious. I like marinated that thing in Greek yogurt and salt for 3 days. It was just like a beautiful spread, and I don't know how we did it because it was like the most relaxed Thanksgiving I think we have ever had. I'm like, I want to relive that meal over and over and over again, but I'm also eating a lot of turkey sandwiches, as always.
Okay, what am I eating?
Yes, what are you
eating? Recently, I've been eating a lot of crock-pot meals, mostly because I can put them on when I leave for work, and then it's done by the time I get home, which is just the best. But truthfully, I'm eating a lot of nachos. Don't know what to make for dinner? Nachos. Don't know what to make on a weekend for lunch? Nachos.
Can you paint me a picture of like what your perfect nacho set is and your perfect nacho bite?
Okay, so what I love to do is I like these tortilla chips. It's like Catalina style. And these are kind of, like I was eating them the other day. I was like, why do I like these, but I hate barbecue chips? I don't know. But it's like, I think it's the seasoning that's on top. It's really good. So I spread those out. I do one like small layer. Then I put some cheese and some tahini on it. And then I do a second layer. So it's like 2 layers. And then to put it in the oven, I just do cheese and tahini. When it comes out, however, I do dollops of salsa. And then I have an avocado hot sauce that goes on top. And some sour cream if I have it. So my perfect bite is a combination of all of those. Also of note, I'm eating breakfast this school year, which is crazy. I've been trying to wake up earlier, and I'm like one of those people, I sleep until the very last second.
Love a snooze.
Yeah, I love that snooze button. But I've been waking up with enough time to eat breakfast, and it just starts my day off pretty well. And I don't get really jittery from my coffee, which is most notable.
Yeah.
So
Look at you being a responsible
taking
adult.
care of myself. Is there gas in my car though when I get into the car to go to school?
Not always.
No. But do I get there? Always.
Always. On to playing. Liana came up with this one. I can't even take credit for it because it's like one of the greatest puns I have ever heard. And this is a ding 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 moment that happened in 2023. I've been playing the field.
Yeah, man.
I've been notoriously single. And my friend Amanda had a wedding and she gave me a +1. So I, as the sane person that I am, I think 2022 was the year of me like going very extreme in life. Because
an overcorrection of the depressed valley we were all in.
Let's make life a little more fun as I'm really sad inside. So I made a little video asking people to be my +1 to the wedding, and then I threw it on all of the dating apps that I could.
You made an application.
And I made an application.
Yeah.
And so I had, I think at one point, like 90 submissions. So I went on a couple dates for that, which was fun, I guess. I don't know. It actually was like a bomb. Liana ended up coming with me to the wedding. So it didn't actually work, but I did put together a really great like PowerPoint presentation that I shared with my friends.
For me, yeah.
It was just like a very entertaining couple of months. I did not give myself enough time to do it. So I think I gave myself a month, and I didn't realize that scheduling dates like takes time.
I'm scheduling schedules.
Yeah, so I took my best friend to a wedding, so I guess that's what
Bummer
we learned.
for you.
Learned from that whole experience is just have fun, but always have a backup.
Take whoever you want. I'll gladly be your backup any day.
I played the field in 2022.
True.
What have you been playing in 2023?
Great question, Kelly. I'd love to answer for you. I've been playing myself. Okay? So.
Wait, hold on. You've been playing yourself?
I've been playing myself. Let me paint this picture for you.
Unpack that concept.
It's basically fake it till you make it, right? We've all heard that.
Fake it till you are it.
But I think that is just a fancy way of saying play yourself. So, like, for example, I'm working 3 jobs. I'm having so much fun. I'm always tired? No, I'm not.
You're always tired.
Am I annoyed that there's always laundry to do? No, I love laundry. You see what I'm saying? I'm playing myself.
You're playing yourself. You're playing the character of yourself. having your life together.
Yeah, but most notably, and this is what Kelly taught me, you don't want to be in that specific social situation. This is what you're going to do. You're going to sit back and watch it like a TV show. It has revolutionized my life.
It's so fun to just experience people being people.
Yeah. And you have no stake in the situation because you're watching TV.
You're just watching the show of life.
Also, I've been playing fantasy football in reality. Well, they're both real.
Yeah.
I've been playing fantasy football because I'm a sports girly now. And let me tell you, it makes football season so much more entertaining because I have a stake in it. And I'm not just annoyed that football's on the TV.
You finally understand why all of these men have been obsessed with it?
Yeah, I do.
How are you, where are you currently standing?
Well, great question. I am fighting for my spot in the playoffs. I am third in my division, I guess. I'm the wild card. I'm the wild card. I have to win this week so that I can advance.
Great.
And I'm playing the house, which is Sam and Darby Brock. So I pretty much got to crush them because last year I was robbed, but it's a whole other thing.
That's a whole new thing.
Okay. Oh, obsessing over. What are you obsessing over?
Speaking of my birthday.
Oh, were we?
No, we weren't. But I'm still obsessed with my birthday party.
I'm obsessed with your birthday party.
What leads into it is the fact that I am a major Swiftie, and I have been obsessed with the Eras Tour, of course, as
How could you
all
not?
Swifties do.
Yeah.
I went in July. It was so much fun. We just enjoyed it so much that I was like,
Gotta make this my whole personality.
Gotta make this my whole personality for the next month or two. And so I ended up turning myself into the Eras Tour poster. So it was a Kelly Gordon tour. It was like the most extreme Photoshop I have ever done. Like, it didn't need to go as hard as it did.
But it was flawless.
But by the time I was done with it, I was like, this is so good. It can't just live in the invitation form. Mm-hmm. So I got it through my brain. I was like, this will be so funny on a t-shirt. Of course, right?
Yes.
I was like, but if I show up in a Kelly Gordon Eras Tour t-shirt, all of my friends are going to like rake me through the coals that they didn't get one. So 2 weeks before the party, I just like threw out a little form that was like, hey, do you want to buy my face on a t-shirt? And so I made Eras Tour, both front and back print t-shirt that then had all of our tour stops on it. And we did a bar crawl through Harrisburg.
Yep.
And then my friend Carolina was like the MVP of all MVPs because
she really is.
As far as I got in my brain was, we're going to go on a bar crawl and we're going to be wearing t-shirts. She then took it a step further and made like fun little games. And one of the games was bingo, and it had a bunch of things that I was supposed to do throughout the night. Like drink water, which I then completely killed because I decided I didn't want anyone to get that square, so I didn't drink any water. Everyone got obsessed with these fun little games, and I think it just took the party from probably a 9 to a 12.
This is your second Bachelorette themed birthday party.
We were out and everyone was like, what is going on? Why are these people wearing t-shirts?
And we were like, this is Kelly Gordon.
It was me. Hello. Hi, hello. You would think that, like, with your face on people's shirts that they would be able to find you in the crowd, but no.
That's because it was such a good Photoshop. They all thought it was Taylor Swift.
They all thought it was Taylor Swift until they read it. Oh, I also renamed all of her albums into Kelly Gordon versions.
Yes.
So that was pretty fun for me to brainstorm about a week before I had to submit the design.
But you crushed it.
Honestly, one of my proudest moments of the year.
Yeah. It was a great night. I was the DD and I still had so much fun. I will take any excuse to dance though.
That's true.
It doesn't really take much for me.
It was a nice way to close out my 20s.
Yeah. So what am I obsessing over? I would love to tell you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing what you're obsessed over.
I'm obsessed with Aldi, like their grocery store.
You're such a millennial.
Okay, but listen, hear me out. Because I'm obsessed with it. Well, I'm obsessed with it too. But because I'm obsessed with Aldi, I'm going to tell you why I'm obsessed with it.
Okay,
Not
break it down.
Okay, well, inflation, so obviously. It's cheap. So I'm getting, and okay, I think it truly started with charcuterie boards, like the explosion that was, I don't know, last year. And I was like, I can go get a wheel of brie at Aldi for a fraction of the price of a Giant or Wegmans. So I think like that's where it started. But because it used to stress me out. Like I have to like box everything or bag everything myself. I have to remember a quarter. I can't even like remember where my phone is. And it's right here. Thank you. I was really stressed out. So I like took a long hiatus and then I came back and I was like, wow, this is not only cheap. There's a whole home goods section. Like I got my favorite food shopper there. Like I could go on and on. I love Aldi. So shout out to Aldi if they want to sponsor us. I wouldn't say no.
But I love that you're obsessed with Aldi's.
Yeah. It's also right next to one of my other jobs. So that makes it really easy.
Convenient, but cheap.
Very cheap.
What are you treating yourself with?
Kelly, you spell report with an R after the O.
Oh. I forgot to write it down.
So.
Recommending.
What am I recommending?
I didn't write down my recommending. Let me try to remember.
That's okay.
Oh, I do remember. Okay, go on.
I would say Aldi because, as I said, I'm obsessed with it. But truly, what am I recommending? And I can't stress this enough. I really can't. An end of the night recap doesn't matter what kind of night you're having. Obviously, it's not going to be a mundane, but it's like anytime you go out, you're with friends, you're at a situation you don't really want to be in.
When you're watching a TV show.
Right, exactly. You're going to get out your phone. You're going to open the notes app. You're going to create a shared note and you're going to share it with your best friend and you're going to recap whatever you want. I can't tell you how many recaps Kelly and I have on my notes app. And it's just funny. We were looking this up before and I still have one from January 1st of 2023. And it's just so cute to read.
I recapped my New Year's for you.
Yeah, last year's us. Like that is just so cute. So I can't recommend that enough.
I think the best part is like, this is just my perspective on the entire situation.
Which is all I care about.
True.
I don't really care what they think. I care what you think.
Now we have a record of whatever that social situation was. And it's really fun to write, especially if my favorite way to do it is if you take notes throughout the night.
Yes, like a constant stream of consciousness.
Yeah, it looks like you're just texting a friend, which you are. I'm just not pinging you every 2 seconds.
Exactly.
That's where it was born from. I got really
that's
tired
true.
of. I didn't want to annoy you, so I was like,
you never do.
Here's a note,
and then I respond to them in the morning.
Oh yeah, you leave notes back in the notes.
So what are you recommending, Kelly?
I am recommending standing plans with your friends.
That's right.
So something that has been revolutionary this year is my group of friends we need a shared calendar, but we don't have that.
You do.
We have Monday night, movie night. Tuesday night, trivia. Wednesday, Thursday, we have off. Friday night is usually evergreen. Saturday is whatever plans we concoct throughout the week. And then Sunday, we recap with BIP ball. I'm saying it like that because I say bit ball and everyone's like, what is that? And I'm like, Bachelor in Paradise and football has been our recent thing. So we would watch Bachelor in Paradise before the 1:00 game. And then we watch football all day if I stay that long.
So this is the whole day thing on Sundays.
It is. Most of the time we just like chit chat and I like take my knitting and it's fun. But having standing plans is really important in your 20s because you get a good like little check-in with your friends and no one's mad if you don't show up, and it doesn't take a ton of effort to like, I don't know, we have, like you and I, when we have to schedule plans, it's like weeks in advance, or like, here's the weekend that I'm free. Even like friends that live in my area, it's like, oh no, I can't do Tuesday nights, I can't do Thursday nights, whatever. Yeah. But having standing plans, it's like, okay, if I miss one, it's okay, I can just come the next week. Yeah. It makes me think of like Friends.
I was gonna say, it's like Friends.
But not because we all don't live in the same building. So that's
so
what I'm recommending.
That's so cute.
And it doesn't need to be that extreme. You can just like have dinner with your friend on Wednesdays.
Yeah. All right, T, what are you treating yourself to, Kelly?
Fun little cocktails.
What's your number one lately?
I love like the seasonal stuff.
Oh yeah. It's a lot of rosemary right now.
Cranberry
and rosemary, yeah.
I had like a cranberry gin and tonic.
Ooh.
I just think it's like, see that fun little cocktail on the menu, just like buy it. Don't think about the price.
I love that.
Just like treat yourself in a regular way.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't need to be extreme.
Well, it doesn't need to be like for a special occasion.
Yeah.
Because like today's a special occasion. I'm ordering a fun little cocktail.
I'm ordering a fun little cocktail. And it's also fun to say like fun little cocktail.
That's true. Can I have this fun little cocktail called... Actually, here's my hot take. I think that bars and restaurants name these drinks to laugh at you. Like, the other day I was out somewhere...
Can I have the ho ho ho?
Yeah, Toddy hit the floor. Like, I'm not going to say that. Can I have this drink on the menu? And they're like, what is it? Say it.
I think brewers...
That's my hot take.
Brewers do that too.
Oh, for sure.
It's like one at evergreen called Lulu's. I mean, I order it all the time, but I still feel really dumb saying, I'm like,
yeah.
can I have a Lulu's?
That was my grandpa's dog.
See, it's like a dog name. I don't know.
Lulu's.
So, order yourself a fun little cocktail. Think of me next time.
Okay. Easy. I think of you all the time. Okay. I am treating myself too. And I realize this is not me bragging. I'm treating myself to last minute plans. So
you work 3 jobs.
For example, I flew to Europe this summer. I went to Prague, which my dad made the mistake of saying he was going to Czechoslovakia. And the woman turned around and was like, "We are the Czech Republic," in the nicest way. And she like gave him a cute little like history lesson. Treat yourself to
that Europe trip.
To that seat upgrade. Like, I went last minute, and I was like, my dad was planning on going. I treated myself to going last minute, and like I flew, I guess it was business class.
That's so nice though.
I have nothing but good things to say. Like, it was just so crazy, and I'm probably never gonna do it again, or if I do, I really hope it's Italy. But it was amazing, and like I had such a good time. And this was the summer of travel for me. I just took like a couple weeks off, and I went to Colorado, which was nice. I took a couple road trips, and like those were usually last minute too, the road trips.
I just remember you texting me just like insane, oh yeah, when I go to Prague and like whatever, and I was like, Prague?
People were like, where is that? Like,
not even just like, where is Prague? It's like, what? Don't you think about Europe trips like months in advance? Like, how did I miss this?
Well, somebody else was planning it for me. So full disclosure, it was on a business trip with my dad. But I treated myself a little bit along the way, like got some fun things that I bought, got some perfume. So it was a good time. So would recommend taking the trip. Do we want to talk about anything else?
That's how we spell report.
Yes, that is how we spell report.
Updates on other random things that have happened that you feel like you can't end this podcast without saying.
Okay, well, I know that people are worried. I'm still obsessed with New Girl. That is still my entire personality. So, like, don't worry about that. Truly, I can quote it, like, to an alarming degree. Like, I'm like, oh, this reminds me of, and nobody wants to hear it, but I'm still gonna tell you. But shout out to my girl Becky at Starbucks that I work with, because she will listen to me every single time, and sometimes she'll even set me up. The other day, she sent me a picture, and she said, "He's a leaper." And I was like, it reminds me of that episode of New Girl, and I didn't even finish it because she's like, yeah, I know that episode. Like, thank you so much. That just like brought me so much joy. So still loving that. Recently, well, I'm just watching it. I've started Scrubs, which like I think will surprise a lot of people that I haven't watched Scrubs.
It was like a weird, like my brother watched Scrubs.
Yeah, but it just is my humor.
Yeah, and
Psych. I'm watching Psych. So those are two things. But most notably, my car broke down indefinitely. It is now at the junkyard. I got $400 for it, which apparently is a steal, the guy told me. So if anyone's grandma or grandpa isn't driving their car anymore and you've made it this far, let me know, because
you can sponsor a podcast next year.
I'm still looking for a car, and let me tell you, thank God I know how to drive stick shift, because I can at least consider those cars, which is why I learned how to drive stick shift in the first place, because I got into a car accident in high school, and I was just like, I'm just going to teach myself stick because this car is good for me. So if anyone has a car that they don't need, which is like not a thing, I'm still looking. Kelly, what do you want to let the viewers know that we can't end without mentioning?
Yeah, 2 new personas have emerged in my life this year.
Okay.
One of which has been a dream of mine since I was a little girl, and it was to be the flower girl in a wedding.
So cute. I wouldn't even say just your younger self, also your adult self.
Because it's been a joke my entire life.
That is true.
I think it's my longest running bit is that I want to be the flower girl in a wedding.
Oh, we've had to retire the bit now.
No.
We're not.
No, we're not. I'm still a little mad that I wasn't the flower girl in your wedding. But I was the flower girl in my brother's wedding.
Sorry, you had to be in it. My bad.
You
had to be a bridesmaid.
I had to be a real bridesmaid. But my brother got married.
Aww.
So I was the honorary flower girl because They didn't have a wedding party. So I just told everyone I was the flower girl. And I got this really cute dress that had like...
It was gorgeous.
Think Taylor Swift Grammys.
Yes.
Flower dress, except dark florals, which is like my signature.
Yeah.
So I was the flower girl at John and Molly's wedding.
So cute.
That was persona number 1.
Yes.
Persona number 2 is probably... Well, we love Molly Bittner. But this might be my favorite version of Kelly, which is retired Kelly.
She was very fun.
She was around for 2 weeks.
2 weeks? Yeah.
Oh, 2-3 weeks. I got a new job, so
Woo!
I had like 2 to 3 weeks off in between, and I just wore Hawaiian shirts the whole time. I went to Florida for a week.
Drinking a beer at 12 p.m.
I didn't do that.
I'm just kidding.
Kelly retired, was just sleeping in at the beach.
Yes.
Wearing a Hawaiian shirt. My friends threw me a retirement party, which was very fun.
So cute.
They're the people that I just like didn't realize could take a bit further than me, and they threw me a retirement party on Cinco de Mayo, which was like the perfect pairing I have ever heard of. And then I started my new job, so I am no longer retired Kelly. Hopefully she comes back at some point in my life.
But you're work from home Kelly now.
I am work from home Kelly. So that was notable this year. Also,
very proud of you.
Lava lamps. I'm obsessed with lava lamps. They're so fun. They do take 2 hours to turn on, so my favorite thing to do, because now I am working from home, put it on at 3 and it's going by 5.
And so is the party.
And then I'm like, oh, it's the workday's over. My lava lamp is grooving.
Why don't I remember, like, because I had a lava lamp growing up. Like, I feel like it didn't take that long.
No, it does.
I know, but, like, I guess I was just busy playing Legos or something that I never noticed.
You know, I remember growing up, I had a lava lamp. It was tiki, themed.
Oh, cute.
It did take a really long time, and my mom was also really worried that somehow it would burn down the house,
Okay,
which I don't think has ever happened.
Yeah, we should Google that, because
we'll update you on next year's podcast.
Yeah.
So
put a pin in that.
Yeah,
because my mom was always stressed. I think she was stressed that it was gonna like fall over. But I did have a dog growing up, so maybe his tail was gonna catch it. I don't know, and it would fall over.
Yeah, I don't really know. But now all I want are like more lava lamps, because like 1 lava lamp is great, but like, could you imagine 3?
No, I couldn't imagine that.
It would break my entire world.
Your apartment would be a club. Disco ball and a lava lamp.
It's my dream in life, actually.
Wait.
I think I'm replacing all of my dead plants with lava lamps.
Yes. I was in a parking garage the other day, and hanging from the ceiling was a giant disco ball, like down the steps. I was like, this is the coolest parking garage I've ever been in. Apparently it was an art installation, but I think it should be there all year round.
I was gonna say, like, did a music video shoot there or something?
I don't know. It was in Frederick, Maryland. All right.
Let's end the year on a low note.
Yep.
And do rapid fire.
Okay.
Beefs of the year.
What are your beefs of the year, Kelly?
My biggest beefs of the year, as per our text messages reveal, are early morning texts, which means any text before 9 a.m. In my life. Yeah. You're not going to get a nice answer from me.
No.
Don't do it. Just don't text me. Surprise bird videos on my, like, Instagram, TikTok. Even if my friends text them to me or, like,
bird
DM
videos
them
in general,
to me,
honestly.
Like, it's even worse when, like, you're just scrolling and it's, like, a surprise bird video.
A jump scare.
It's a jump scare, for sure. And then Netflix canceling all of my favorite fantasy shows, probably just because they're really expensive to produce, but, like, they're really good. Most notably, like, this got canceled 3 years ago at this point, but it's called The Order. It's on Netflix. It had, like, 2 seasons. And then this year, the most devastating
most recently
cancellation of all is Shadow and Bone.
Ugh.
And not only did they cancel that, they canceled the spin-off show that they were going to produce with the Crows.
Oh, they were the best, though.
Which is literally, like, my favorite book in the entire world.
Yeah.
And they did such a good job with the first 2 seasons of Shadow and Bone that I was
they
like...
really did.
I read the cancellation and almost cried. Yeah. So, those are my 3 biggest beefs of the year.
Well, my beefs of the year are my neighbors. If you're watching this, I don't understand. Truly cannot. I've tried to understand, but I don't understand why it's 3 a.m. and you think it's a great time to turn on your car that you have modified to be incredibly loud and just let it sit and idle for 10, 15, 20, sometimes 30 minutes. With not only is that annoying, but now you've got all your lights on and now they are lighting up my room like a disco ball. I don't understand.
Not the kind of disco ball we like.
No. So that, I think, until they move or I move, will continue to be my beef of the week. And I will tell anybody that listens. Truly anybody that listens, I will tell you about my neighbors. Haircuts, another beef of the year that I've had. I've gotten one good haircut this year that was now ruined by this haircut, and still ticked about it. And it just like further shows my commitment issues, and like I can't commit to a single salon, which I thought I could, but then the receptionist was like so rude when I kept having to like change my hair appointment because I work a bunch of jobs. We don't need to get into it. It was a great haircut, and now I can never go back because the receptionist was really rude. Oh. And my last beef of the year, lactose intolerance. I don't feel like I need
nachos.
Yeah, right. I really don't need to explain that any further. If anyone knows Lancaster cooking, there is milk, heavy cream, butter, and everything. So holidays are rough around the Weaver household. So those are my beefs of the year.
Thank you so much for sharing.
You're welcome.
All about
I've got
your
plenty
life.
more, but I had to narrow it down.
I think it was a good narrowing.
Thanks.
I think your life update was well rounded.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you. I received that.
Okay, Winston.
Thank you so much for listening to our fake podcast.
To our yearly roundup.
Hopefully we'll be back next year, but no promises. If you have made it this far, please let us know.
We would love to hear
your beef of the year.
Yes.
Whatever comments you
have any questions, keep them to yourself. I'm kidding. You can ask us in person.
And please stop thinking this is a real life podcast because it's just fake.
It's a bit.
We love you. We appreciate you.
And I love you, Kelly.
I also love you. Let's go, girls.